Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be going over Quistis' LD weapon that she will be receiving alongside with the Heretics event. Now with that, she is also going to be getting a small rework, and some of the changes that she is actually going to be getting will benefit her greatly. And then when it comes to her LD ability, the auras that she will be providing to the party and what she does in general, and there is one specific thing in her LD ability via her buff that is something that players should actually consider when thinking about whether or not it is worth pulling on her upcoming banner. So we're going to be talking about all of that in this video. So if you guys do enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future Opera Omnia content. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's talk about her rework first, followed by her LD ability, and then of course the should you pull portion of the video. So we'll first start off with Quistis' rework on her skill 1 and skill 2. So for her skill 1, Laser Whip, she got an increase in Brave hits and increase in Brave potency by a tremendous amount. And one key thing to note about her overall kit is that now she deals weakness damage as long as the targets are debuffed. So pretty nice solid addition they gave to Quistis on that. And with her skill 1, she is now able to delay the target by 1. Previously, she was unable to do that. And her skill 1 ability does deal 50% HP damage to non-targets. Now, when it comes to her skill 2 actually gained an additional 2 uses. So now you have up to 5 uses with her skill 2. And then whenever you do use her skill 2, she is able to now deal 2 HP dumps, and when going against debuff targets, she deals weakness damage, and there was no action delay. So now she does have instant turn rate with her skill 2 ability. Now with her LD ability, she actually does a good amount of stuff. So with her LD ability, she grants herself a new stackable buff called the Instructor's Glare, which lasts for 12 actions. And every single time that you use her LD ability, which you do have 3 uses to it, you do recover 1 usage of her skill 2. So you can basically delay the enemies up to 8 times in total, because she is getting the additional 2 uses with her rework. So it'll start off at 5. And then after you use her LD ability 3 times, you have a total of 8 uses with her skill 2, which is pretty sweet. Now with the buff Instructor's Glare, it is a stackable buff, and the way to increase it is by basically just playing the game. And when I say that, I mean like every single time that an ally acts, it increases by 1, and it has a max stacks of 3. Now this buff actually does go down to 1 stack every single time that the enemy acts. So you have to kind of consider that whenever you are playing, or whenever you are in a Lufenia Plus fight. Just note that if all of a sudden you start seeing a drop in, like, say, attack, brave damage, so on and so forth, that is because of the buff being reverted back to 1. Now with this buff, it actually provides the party with some pretty sweet auras. So with the Instructor's Glare, basically she is providing the party with attack up, max brave up, brave damage up, and then brave gains. Now remember, brave gains is one thing that I really push for in a lot of characters who do provide the brave gains up, because that is one of the countermeasures against the brave reduction that these enemies are pushing onto us. Now as you can see, at 1 stack she provides the party with 30% attack up, 30% max brave up, 20% brave damage up, and then 10% brave gains up. That is whenever she is at 1 stack, and I saying these percentages so that way you know exactly what it is that you have in case you do have to let the enemy act. Then once she reaches max stacks of 3, she has a 50% attack up, 50% max brave up, a 30% brave damage up, and a 20% brave gains up. Now I know it's not the same as Porm's 30% brave gains up, but I mean that's still very much solid. And if you were to consider putting both of them together, that's a 50% brave gains up if you were to put Porm and Quistis together in the same team, which is pretty nice. Now another thing to know, another important thing to know about her LD ability is that her own attacks ignore turn delay resistance, and it also excludes break delay resistance. So think about it. If per se an enemy does not allow you to delay, yeah, Quistis be like, nope, that's not gonna work on me. Quistis will basically counter the fact that if the enemy prevents that, she will be like, nope, that doesn't work against me, and then bloop, she goes ahead and delays the enemy regardless of whatever type of resistance they have on just like the battle in general, which is really sweet. That is one of the reasons why I decided to pick up Quistis' LD ability, because that does help in those type of situations. And aside from the party ores that she is now providing with her Instructor's Glare buff, so you know, it's something to actually consider when thinking about whether or not it is actually worth pulling for her LD weapon. Now, for her LD call ability, if you decide to pick up her LD weapon, and if you use her as a call ability, her call ability actually provides attack up, max brave up, and then brave damage up by 10%, and it also provides a 10% brave gains up, which is not too shabby if you decide to not bring her into certain teams in future Lufania Plus fights. And this call ability does last for 3 actions. So now we get to the point in the video where you guys decide whether or not it is worth pulling for Quistis' LD weapon based on what you've already heard so far with her upcoming changes and her LD ability. Now, one thing that I do want to note with her rework, and another thing with her LD ability, with her skill 1, whenever you use a skill 1, she actually delays all targets by 1 turn instead of just focusing on 1 target, because previously with Quistis, she was only able to delay 1 single target, but now with her changes, it does help her out in terms of delaying all enemies on the field with her skill 1. Now, her LD ability also does the same thing, where she delays all targets on the field, but she delays them by 2 turns instead of 1 turn. So with those changes and with the party ores that she is providing, in my opinion, those were one of the few reasons why I decided to pull for her LD ability. And not only that, like with the party ores being the fact that she has that brave gains up, which is very important when going up against brave reductions that the enemies are slapping us with. So with the fact that if you're able to delay all enemies as much as you can take advantage of that 20% brave gains up that she will be providing to the party. And if you were to combine her with other units that have that brave gains up, like take example like Poem, and I know that I push Poem so much, but like to those who decided to like pass up on like say Setsu or whatever, like having that really does help out. Or even if you do have Setsu on the field, like it doesn't really matter, because like having that brave gains up will help in fighting against that brave reduction. So take example like one team comp that I'm considering using for this Heretics event that is coming up is going to be like say Ace, Poem, and Quistis. And you know, just having that 50% brave gains up, if you total up what Poem provides and then what Quistis provides, like that is a really good countermeasure against the brave reduction. And of course Ace, once his BT effect goes up, it's you don't have to worry about anything when it comes to fighting against the brave reduction. But not only that, but like with Quistis, the fact that she has options to delay all enemies now, and whenever you use a skill 2, she does get that instant turn rate, which helps out a lot. And the fact that you basically have 8 uses if you do pull for her LD ability does help out a lot. It really does help out, because you can push the enemy back as much as you can with those 8 uses, because you're able to recover those 3 uses every single time that you use her LD ability. So, you know, in my opinion, is it actually worth pulling for Quistis' LD weapon? I say yes, because like if you set her up in the right team comps and you take advantage of her delay and the auras that she has you know, you got yourself a solid third character in terms of, like, say, if you want to have your DPS, if you want to have your support, and if you want to have that one character that does a little bit of, like, does a little bit of damage, but at the same time is also providing the party with some strong ore, excuse me, then Quistis is definitely one to consider, you know, throwing some tickets at it. You know, if you're actually going to go in with gems, then you already know that you're actually getting yourself a pretty, in my opinion, a pretty high value character, just because of like what she is, what she does, and what she is providing. So, me myself, I'm gonna be, because I didn't upload a pro planning video for this month, I am gonna be going in with tickets because I do have a good amount of tickets to chase for her LD weapon. But like, in my opinion, you know, she is actually worth picking up if you do have the extra resources, or if you are trying to save up for future characters, then, you know, that's perfectly understandable. She does already have her crystal level 90 in JP, which gave her an additional HP dump to her LD ability, and she now actually provides overflow, some extra overflow via the buff from her EX ability, if I'm not mistaken, once she gets her you know, EX extension, and then so on and so forth. So you know, she in my opinion, you know, does she fall off? No, I don't think she does fall off. She is very much useful against certain Lufenia fights, as long as said Lufenia fight doesn't require you to let the enemy act, you know. But I mean, you know, there can be some ways to go up against it. It just depends on, you know, said fight and whatnot. But you know, that's for a whole nother video. Yeah, other than that though, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, whether or not you are actually gonna be pulling for Quistis LD weapon or not, or if you're gonna pass up on her and wait for a future banner. But if you did enjoy it, consider liking the video and subscribing for future Opera Omnia content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video.